The story begins with an injured woman lying helpless in the river. It turns out that death is imminent, and only memories of the past are running through her mind. To understand what happened, we need to go back 30 years. In the dense forests of America, we encounter a 12-year-old girl named Helena, accompanied by her father, Jacob Helbrun. The question arises, why is the father there? We witness a strong bond between the daughter and the fact that both are expert hunters, fighting to survive in the wilderness. Jacob, well-versed in survival skills, teaches Helena everything she needs to know. Helena's mother, Karen Kashiana, is also present in the middle of the forest. On a typical day, Helena goes hunting with her father, showcasing her skill in tracking prey. On one occasion, they come across a deer. Jacob, a tough man, hands the gun to Lena, urging her to finish the hunt. Lena takes aim, holds her breath, and fires, but unfortunately, the deer escapes, leading to her disappointment and her father's anger. Returning home, we learn that Helena's mother, Karen, is lighting a fire for cooking, but Jacob insists on not lighting it, as there is nothing to cook today. This revelation hints at a lack of love between Helena and her mother, leading to resentment from Helena towards her mother and a deep affection for her father. Helena's mother, Karen, has a lot of tattoos on her body, a reward from Jacob for good deeds. These deeds involve passing the tests set by Jacob. Despite the strained relationship between Helena and her mother, life in the forest brings Helena happiness, with her father being her only friend. As the story progresses, Helena witnesses her father and mother in the river, seemingly with her mother having fallen and her father helping her. The true nature of this event will be revealed at the end of the story. In the following days, tensions rise between Helena and her mother, Karen. Helena, not finding much solace at home, constructs a house of leaves and sticks for herself. Helena's whistling at night annoys her mother, highlighting the strained relationship. The next day, Helena ventures out with her father in search of food. They discover traps set for animals, one of which has a severed leg. Jacob explains that the animal sacrificed its leg to survive, emphasizing the harsh reality of living in the wilderness. Lena's first successful deer hunt brings them home, revealing a hidden cabin where Jacob keeps important items. Lena expresses a desire for her own space, similar to her father's cabin, where she can keep her weapons. Jacob assures her that she will get it when she is ready. One night, Lena hears the sound of chains and discovers a hungry wolf and its cub feeding on the deer's meat. Jacob, upholding his principles, insists on killing them to protect the family. Lena hesitates, questioning the morality of the act, but Jacob takes the responsibility and eliminates the threat. The next day, Jacob goes out alone on a hunt, leaving Lena behind. Lena, named Little Shadow by Jacob, expresses her desire to join him, but Jacob adheres to his principles. This incident reflects Lena's longing for connection and purpose beyond hunting in the forest. Later, a stranger on a bike arrives in the forest, marking the first time Helena encounters someone outside her family. Karen, fearful, seeks help from the stranger to escape the forest. The stranger is perplexed and agrees to assist them, introducing Helena to a world beyond the wilderness. "I have gone here myself." Then a shot is fired from the distance, and that crying man stops there. Jacob had come, and Karen was trying to run away. It seemed like she was unaware of everyone. She did not want to run away. Where would she go, leaving her father? Karen was forced to make her unconscious with a stone, and she managed to escape with the bike. At night, when Lena regained consciousness, she admitted herself to a hospital. It was very strange for her because she was seeing this world for the first time. In front of her was the sheriff, whose name was Clark. He explains to her, "Do not panic, son. Now you are safe. Your mother is also here." Helena comes to her mother. She angrily says, "We shouldn't be here. Where is Dad? We have to go home." Her mother says it wasn't our house. Lena yells and asks, "What did you do?" Karen tells her he was a monster. "He passed me over. The beast took me to the forest and kept me there for 12 years. "Sorry," Lena says. "No, you are a liar. Father told me not to believe anything you say. I have to go to my father." When Karen starts crying, Helena tells her, "Stop crying." Cal comes and takes Lena to another room and explains that you should stay quiet for a while, but Lena was not going to stay quiet. Suddenly, you brought someone from her own world, accepting that these new things are not ordinary things. She was an expert hunter, and she knew how to fight against bad situations. She did not stop, but ran away from there. She had to find her father, whom she found on the streets of the city. He was the one who was whistling. It was as if Lena was calling a pet. Jacob had taken her under his control. She had been brainwashed. Lena runs towards him and hugs him. Jacob tells her to let Little Shadow return to her home, but just then, the police surround them from all sides. Jacob tells Lena that "I will see me back. Wait for me." At that time, Lena cries a lot for her father, and now let's bring the story forward 18 years. Lena has grown up. The bad times still haunt her like a terrible dream, but now she knows the truth. she understood that her father was really a monster. He kidnapped Karen, raped her, and kept her in the forest for 12 years. Lena was a child, and she never experienced this. She always felt that her father was very good and her mother was very bad, but the reality was the opposite. Well, now Lena has a life of her own, a family, and the tattoos that her father had done to her body in her childhood. Some of them were still there, but Lena had them removed from her face. Those marks were still there, so she often hid them with makeup because it always reminded her of her bad past. And because of this bad past, she became a different person. She did not like to meet too many people. She did not like the fences. She just wanted to live with her husband Stefan and daughter Marigold, and only mind her own business. She worked for a company. Helena's father is Jacob Hellbrun, a character in this story, an evil character who lived in the forest and used to hunt, and he forcefully married a woman and kept her here forcefully, which was in the middle of the forest. That's why this name was given to him. Well, Lena loved her daughter and her husband very much. She did not want to see this happen to anyone else. But there was one problem. She hid her identity. She didn't tell that she was Marsh King's daughter. She has a daughter now, so she had hidden this fact even from her husband Stepan, which could have been a big mistake of hers. But if she had told the truth, hardly anyone would have adopted her. Lena goes to bring her daughter home from school. Both of them spend some time together at home. One day upon arrival, Stepan says that we have to go to some party, which Lena did not like, but she agreed to go for his sake. At the party, when Stepan's friends ask Lena about her family, she tells a blatant lie. At night, we are shown that Marsh King, that is, Jacob, is being taken to another place by the police. There was another prisoner along with him in the car, and both of them had made a plan to escape. On the way, they attack the Gat. Both of them snatch the gun. They kill the policeman and run away. The next day, Helena gets a call from the police. She comes home. The house was full of policemen. First of all, she asks about her daughter. The policeman tells her that your father has run away. Has he contacted you? Knowing this, the beast became free again. Fear began to take over Lena. With the arrival of the police, Stepan also came to know the truth, that in reality, Lena was the one who had changed her name and hidden her identity. So Stepan becomes very angry at the fact that she is King Marsh's daughter because everyone knows about this story. He takes Marigold and leaves. There, a police car now starts guarding the place because they are sure that Jabkob might show up to meet his daughter. Helena now starts living alone at home. That night, she goes to the basement of the house, where she has kept some of her childhood belongings, including a knife, which her father had given her as a gift for hunting. She does not sleep, so she went to take a bath in a nearby pond. On the same night, we see Jacob and his other friend waiting for someone at a gas station. After some time, a car arrives, and both of them get in, driving away. The next day, Cal comes to inquire about Helena's well-being. When Karen became free from Jacob, she started living with Cal, making Helena her stepdaughter. However, Helena never fully embraced the familial bond, even though Cal was a good person and wished for them to live like a family. He encourages Lena, assuring her that Stefan is just angry and will return. After some time, a policeman arrives, summoning Lena to the station. On leaving, she learns that there was a car accident near the Canadian border the previous night, involving Jacob and his companion. The car was badly burned, and 2 dead bodies were found, possibly one of them being Jacob's. Helena remembers Jacob's golden teeth but doesn't reveal anything. She is torn between sadness and happiness at her father's possible death. Stephen returns home with Marigold, expressing anger towards Helena, but eventually offering support after learning about Jacob's alleged demise. Stephen questions why Helena hid the truth, and she hesitates to answer. When Stephen prepares to leave, Helena confesses her true identity, revealing the tattoos on her body and the story behind them. Stephen embraces her, and the family reunites. The next day, they visit Cal's place, and Helena introduces Marigold to her grandfather. Cal shares pictures of Karen and Helena, dispelling the misconception that Karen hated Helena. They return home in the evening, and Helena experiences a bad dream about her father. The next day, she discovers evidence of Jacob's presence, indicating he might be alive. Despite Cal's reassurance, Helena becomes increasingly cautious. One day, Helena hears a familiar voice in the market, resembling someone's voice from her childhood. She senses Jacob's presence and becomes vigilant. Setting up a net around the house, she catches a rabbit, already dead, indicating potential danger. Fr. I am Jacob. Nervously, she informs Stephen and calls Cal, who tries to calm her. Meanwhile, Helena recalls a childhood story about a bird sacrificing a leg to stay alive, speculating on Jacob's potential survival. The next day, she finds wooden and leafy structures resembling childhood toys, realizing it's a signal from Jacob. Determined to face her father, she revisits the forest where she spent her childhood and encounters Jacob. After a brief conversation, Jacob proposes they live together again, but Helena rejects his offer, exclaiming that her life is now different and she wants to live with her own family. As they are about to leave, Jacob kills Cal, kidnaps Lena, and locks her in a pit. Helena recalls her childhood lessons from Jacob, remembering her mother's strength. Breaking free from the pit, she retrieves a gun from Jacob's cabin. Helena confronts Jacob as he attempts to escape with Marigold. She shoots at him, initiating a deadly struggle between father and daughter. Despite their survival skills, Helena and Jacob end up in the river, both injured. In the final scene, Helena, distressed and injured, is in the water, reaching for the gun. She decides to end Jacob's reign of fear by killing him, freeing herself and her family from the constant threat.